I actually had fans sending me DMs on Twitter where they were saying we were going to win the league.
Family, friends were saying, this is amazing, how exciting is this?
We looked a really good attacking force.
Fans were coming over to us, shaking our hands, thanks for saving this club. And then we played our next few games.
So now it was go time, the build up to our first game of the season against Merthyr Town, who had just come up. I think they were unbeaten in something like 20 games. So we knew it was going to be a real tough game.
I was actually on holiday in Spain, so I did plan on listening to it on commentary, but I quickly realised that I was in no state of mind to sit there and listen to it on commentary and not really get a full understanding of the squad we built and the football we're playing. So I took the decision to leave the family holiday and fly into Cardiff Airport and jump in a cab.
So we turned up at the ground, a long drive, as I say, kids a bit restless. We did a bit of a walk around the ground, met a few fans, and then Dave turned up. He actually rang me in the taxi on the way there, and he was saying how nervous he was.
Wow, I've never been so nervous for a football match, and I'm an Everton fan, so I know disappointment.
I was nervous as well, and we joked there should have been a Dave cam because he couldn't sit still.
So kick-off time, the game opens up. First 20 minutes we get the dreaded injury to one of our real good players, Dan Pike, which wasn't ideal, but I felt that the team had started really well, playing the sort of philosophy and the style that we'd been working on.
I thought we played unreal for an hour to 70 minutes. We were fantastic, a really, really good football inside.
Everything we'd planned and put our money into come down to this game.
And we probably should have been 3, maybe 4-0 up.
We created a lot of chances, dominated possession, but just didn't put the ball in the back of the net.
It went really well. I actually sat on the commentary and done a bit of a talk between half-time and said, you know what, I feel like 60th, 70th minute, this game's going to change. And it did change, but it changed for them.
Then you go into the second half and the dreaded things happen. You're dominating the game, you're playing good football, and they scored against the run of play, which probably come from a little bit of our own naivety.
We didn't take our chances, and Merthyr got the tails up and came at us, scored a really good goal, probably from our mistakes, but again, that's football.
It just killed us. It felt like everyone, Danzy, myself, Dave, it just felt like, oh, what's happened here?
And then when we pressed further for an equaliser, they broke away and we ended up losing the game 2-0. And even now, sat here, I don't understand how we lost that game.
But it was a real positive performance. Like I said, we created a lot of chances, played some really, really good football, and there was a lot of positives to take.
Unfortunately, I had to travel back to Spain, being defeated, and it was tough to take, really, really tough to take.
We come out of that game with a sense of confidence, but also knowing that we still had work to do.
There was someone in the corporate room who said, 24th in the league, and I remember my wife saying, oh, out of how many? And someone just said, out of 24, and I just thought, what have we done?
After the disappointments of Merthyr Town, it was our first home game against Bedford.
First home game, nervous, yeah. Worried, yeah. Excited, yeah.
It was exciting to get the fans in, get our doors open again, and get some much needed money back into the club, to be honest.
Everything we'd done over the time, new marquee, new bars, everything, food vans, the lot, new staff, new manager, new assistant, new players. It was all the showcase. It was a good game,
a really, really good game, and we played really well.
3-1 victory. What a great opportunity for the lads to put on a show in front of the home crowd. First home game of the season. We come out the traps firing, took the lead, and put on what I think was a real good performance.
I think me and Dave had a beer, second half, the end. And we were both drunk because we'd been that nervous. We hadn't eaten all day, it'd been chaos, and we were in the marquee, and was that marquee bouncing. We thought we'd won the league, and it was so exciting.
And that was a real great day for the club, being with the new owners, with everything that was going on, the 14 new players. It was a real chance to build the confidence, and I felt we did that on the day.
As far as I was concerned, the season had started and we were off and running. Or so I thought.
So 3-1 at home to Bedford, the fans were behind us, the team played really well, things were looking good.
The fixture list was tough after that. We went on a run of 5 defeats.
For me personally, the performances were really good in most of the games. It was just those moments which I feel probably the young players were learning how tough it can be in this league.
But we played really well, and we should have won them games or got points out of them, definitely. But we just weren't lucky enough.
If I'm being honest, I was feeling the pressure personally. You're reading comments, you're looking at the league table, and it is a lonely place.
And I remember looking at my phone at like 2:30 in the morning. I was away and I just couldn't sleep, and Danzy liking something on my social media, and I was like, what's he doing up at 2:30 in the morning? And I rang him the next day. I was like, you all right, Danz? I was like, were you up late last night? He said, yeah, I was watching videos of the next team we're playing, and I'm worried basically about his job and nervous. And I was like, Danzy, we've got your back, the fans have got your back. No, like, don't get me wrong, after a few games, my wife told me there was a comment on social media saying, get the owners out. She was upset and was like, what have you done? And I was like, I don't know. When I spoke to Danzy, I was like, Danzy, do not worry.
The owners were fully behind me. They could see what we were trying to do.
I do believe in Danz. I think we can have a good season.
There was a lot more positive than negative, and we just needed to close that out.
We had an energetic team. We were creating chances, and we were also still dominating most of the games. But it was those key moments that we lacked in. So was it time to bring in a few experienced players just to give us that extra little bit of a push? I think it was.
Next home game, South Shields.
They're a really, really good side. They play very similar to us, the way they keep possession.
Ideally, from a personal point of view, probably not the ideal game. Coming up against a team that were unbeaten in the league.
This isn't going to be easy.
So the nerves were really starting to kick in. I was feeling the pressure from the fans, the pressure on myself. From a personal point of view, I knew this was a game that we had to get a result in. The game started really well, but you could see straight away just why South Shields were top of the league.
You can tell they're full time. You can tell they're well drilled.
They were just flying.
They moved ball really well. They caused us a few problems, we caused them a few problems. And at the time in the game where I thought we were just starting to get a grip in and control it, bang.
They got a penalty.
A penalty that I think was probably a little bit harsh.
We don't sit in the boxes and that. We float around, and I was sitting there right by the box, and I was just like, that shouldn't have been a penalty.
So now it was up to our goalkeeper, Chris Renshaw. I needed him to save this penalty just to give me the confidence that we could go on and get a result in this game.